Some Eastern Kentucky school superintendents say declining attendance due to illnesses is still a big problem. And while many think they know what Santa looks like, for some folks in Floyd County, Santa looks a lot like the late Eula Hall.
Plus, rainy weather is back in the forecast as we start to close out this work week. The latest on the way as Mountain News at 6 starts right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Eastern Kentucky school districts have been hit hard this year after flooding in July delayed some start dates. Illnesses have started to affect their attendance numbers now. The question many superintendents are asking, how can we fix it? Julia Sanders spoke to one school principal who says their main concern is the health and safety of their students.
Eastern Kentucky school districts are being challenged on all levels. Through the flood-damaged communities, families are rebuilding and starting over. And now schools are seeing attendance numbers decline because of illness.
Several of our students really try to come to school and not miss even when they're sick. So when they are here, the teachers and the staff, and we'll see them in the hallway like you said, and we'll say, hey, let's go see the nurse and make sure you're okay.
In Perry County Central High School, Principal Michelle Ritchie Curtis says students are frequently in the nurse's office, but illness isn't the only thing taking a toll on students. She says students are struggling mentally, having to deal with trauma from the flooding.
They're really impacted, they're really stressed about it, and they're traumatized, just worrying about will it happen again. And then also add on the sickness and people passing away in their family for COVID or flu. And it's just a lot of stress on those students.
Tony Cons-Tatman with the Kentucky Department of Education says they hold bi-weekly meetings to talk about ways they can help these schools in need. At Tuesday's meeting, superintendents voiced their concerns about their school's attendance and their students' education.
Some of the districts yesterday, going back, I think they reported, right now they're sitting at 78% or 80% average daily attendance. That's really low. And it's really hard to teach students and teach our communities about, what they need to be doing in school when they're not there.
And Ritchie Curtis says having students in the classroom is important to get the best education they can. Julia Sandor, WKYT.
Superintendents at the meeting yesterday say they want help with rebuilding funds. There's another meeting set for December 20th. One family in Floyd County is slowly but surely rebuilding and on the road to returning to their homes after they were severely damaged by the July flood. The Cottle family live in the Wayland area of Floyd County. Pam Cottle and her son Michael Cottle live in houses opposite of each other, and both were nearly destroyed by the flood. After 4 months of rebuilding the two houses, Michael has nearly completed his mother's house.
I was hoping by Christmas, I was dead set on Christmas being back in her house, whether it was completely finished. I was wanted to be in there enough to live there, but yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen. I'm going to say more than likely middle of January, maybe end of January.
Michael says as a volunteer firefighter and employee of the Kentucky Department of Transportation, it's been hard to find time to work consistently, but adds that he cannot give up now. We'll have more from the Cottles tonight at 11.
On the last of our showers, at least the few that were around the region have begun to work out as we head through the evening hours. We will continue, though, to see mist, fog, and just generally cloudy skies. There's a look outside from downtown Whitesburg. We are still seeing plenty of rainfall there on the road, but none falling from the sky, and that's good news. Even the hint of a sunset from our view at Buffalo Mountain in southern parts of Perry County. Low 60s still. We're on the warm side of this stationary boundary that's continuing to bring showers into the region. Dew points are near 60, well above normal for this time of year. You see, though, the last of our showers around the center or around the Kentucky-Tennessee border starting to move out, so we will continue to see quiet conditions for the night, but more showers are on the way. Details on those in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Department of Justice officials say Pikeville Medical Center has agreed to pay nearly $4.4 million because of reported violations to a record-keeping provision. The violations reportedly resulted in opioids being removed from the pharmacy. Settlement documents say the pharmacy did not keep accurate records of its inventory and distribution of controlled substances. As a result, officials say a PMC pharmacy technician was able to divert more than 60,000 doses of oxycodone, hydrocodone, and methadone from PMC's narcotics vault and med stations. The incidents reportedly happened from January 2016 to September 2018. The DOJ reports the drugs were distributed in the community by the pharmacy technician's husband. Now, both the pharmacy technician and her husband, reportedly involved in the case, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute Schedule II controlled substance charges. Today, Pikeville Medical Center officials released a statement saying in September 2018, Pikeville Medical Center's leadership identified the diversion of narcotic medications by a member of its staff and contacted the appropriate authorities. We were able to speak with PMC's president and CEO on the phone about the settlement this afternoon.
The employee that was involved in this, again, that had big involved in doing this for the 2-year period, was immediately terminated. When we look again at patient safety and the care of our patients being our top priority, I can also confirm that no patients were ever deprived of any medication or were ever harmed by any of the results of the staff member's action, by this particular staff member's action.
The settlement is the third largest civil penalty ever obtained from a hospital system under the Controlled Substances Act.
Well, you look at satellite and radar, more showers are on the way this weekend. I'll have the latest in a few. Plus,
we'll begin our profiles of this year's Ralph Gabbard Memorial Scholarship winners.